Hi, Taurus. Welcome to your end of July 2022 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. Ooh. Oh, what a great depiction of the sun. I don't know if I've drawn this card much since I've started using this deck. I can't remember the first time I used this deck. But, what a beautiful depiction of the sun. Ooh. World. Interesting. You got several major arcana cards there. But this is coming on the heels of the lunar eclipse in Scorpio, in your opposite sign, in the house of marriage and other relationships. And when I saw the Justice card, I was thinking of the seventh house is also the house of legal affairs. So certainly some Taurus people are seeing that their relationships with significant others are going through quite a change. And that's because Taurus is going through quite a change. Having Uranus in your sign has breathed new life into you. It's a positive thing, but it's a very unstable thing. You might be experimenting right now. If you tend to be very monogamous, you may be kind of playing the field or just avoiding relationships altogether to kind of feel that sense of freedom. And what I mean by that is I'm talking about for people who have seen their marriages or committed partnerships go through a period of flux, of change in one way or the other. So there's a lot going on, but it's also about the evolution of your own self. And another thing that is playing into this is we have Pluto in one of the last degrees of Capricorn, fellow Earth energy. So it's been in your ninth house, and it's really shaped, or you could say restructured, or is that more Saturn? Really transformed. There you go. Your belief about what your life, the meaning of your life is. And so that can definitely involve your relationships for sure, and you may have been reassessing these. So I wanted to set the stage with that. I usually don't talk that much about astrology off the bat, but I thought that was important. So the heart of the matter is the Seven of Cups, and this is a card of having to decide between all these options. But it's interesting that the Seven of Cups is associated with Neptune. So there's this kind of a haze that's over the person as they make a decision. And they may not feel like they know exactly what is the best option for themselves. But if they focus on the fact that they have options, they have a lot of options, that can make them feel more confident that if something doesn't pan out, they can always try something else. It's not like it's this or nothing. And some of that may also be due to, if you are in this period of lack of mental clarity, it could be that your emotions are kind of wreaking havoc with that. Cups are related to emotions. And with Taurus, oftentimes there's this desire for things to stay the same. And I have Taurus rising. I understand completely why people feel like that, but that isn't what we signed up for, I don't believe. So it's not about just novelty for the sake of novelty, change for the sake of change, but um, understanding that when things seem like, yeah, this chapter of my life is over with, that we can be okay with it and that we don't cling to the familiarity of it. In the past position, we have the Sun card, and this is associated with a lot of things that are positive, like success, love, creativity, abundance. Did I say love? Love, children. And, this is kind of indicated by the body language of this person, that joy. And I noticed like this thing, like kind of, I don't know if it's some kind of a current that's coming out of the sun that energizes and makes the person, awakens the person to that joy in some way. And I noticed that 19 is the Sun card. And if you break that down, you get 1 and 9, and one is beginning and 9 is endings. So it's like, this is kind of what the eclipses are all about, is that beginnings come from endings and endings lead to beginnings. I'm thinking about that in terms of the fact that you're experiencing eclipses in your sign and your opposite sign, a Scorpio. And so if you have met somebody recently that has made you feel alive, like this card suggests, and you may have to choose between your options, but you may feel like this pull in a different direction, that's normal. The Seven of Cups can be wishful thinking, so you have to be very careful about anything that you try to make into something maybe that isn't what you think it is. That can also be, Neptune can be very deceiving, so you have to see things as they are, not how you want them to be, in other words. The higher message, the World card, it does speak to the chapter ending in your life. This is the last card of the Major Arcana. And with that ending, it's funny that they have this green-blue background, because the color green I associate with growth. Or actually, and the yellow, there's a yellow in there too, and yellow is self-empowerment. It's like the green, I think, is associated with the heart chakra. And then you have the blue, which is kind of like the 5th chakra, the lighter shade of blue. And all of these are bridges to the upper chakras, or the 4th chakra is the growth potential, but it has to be like letting go of something sometimes that isn't serving you. And same thing applies to work-related matters. Perhaps you have really come into your own, Taurus, and so you don't want to just be working for something that doesn't really speak to your creative input and things like that. Maybe you have an actual passion project that you want to put out in the world, but you don't trust yourself. You don't know if it's going to really work. As long as you see that things are showing themselves to be a chapter closing in your life, even if you continued working a day job while you are working on a passion project, at night you could be still going in the direction of your dreams without having to completely, pull the rug out from under yourself. the point is that um, sometimes inspiration just hits us, and if we just are too worried about the what ifs, it'll never get off the ground. So you have to kind of transcend those things. That's the Seven of Cups. It might be this mixture of confusion and also hoping for something from an impractical level, not something that really is that you're putting conscious thought into. What crosses you is the Ten of Cups. This is a card of marriage and family harmony. In the challenge position, you may feel like that has been shattered in some way, that you are going to be the cause of the breakup of a family. And even if this is not, if you don't have children, you might feel like your parents would be crushed, or that there's something about your situation that is going to destabilize things, even on an energetic level. And the truth is that there are plenty of people that stay married, stay connected to someone just out of force of habit, and later on there are so many negative consequences to that it ends up being a really bad situation, and it just gets worse and worse, and it affects them adversely. So realize that in trying to protect other people, you might leave yourself very vulnerable, and that's not going to ultimately protect other people, because they want you in their life. And the same thing applies to the workplace. If you feel this sense of like maybe you have a family, but you feel like you have to try something new and you're afraid of that, well, obviously everything has to be done with a grounded perspective, but sometimes when something's really over with, and you just need to trust that even if your family is a little bit unnerved by the changes that are occurring, that everything will eventually settle down, and actually there might be some immediate benefits to the situation that they were not even aware of. Like for instance, if you have fallen in love with someone and you're currently in a marriage or the equivalent type of situation, I'm not one of those people that think that people should go from one relationship to the next. But eventually, even if you were not to disclose this, eventually your children would find out, or you would tell them, and they would have to experience that kind of change in their environment. And if you're not getting along with your current partner, although it could be rocky at first, it would be something that ultimately could be a blessing for them. But obviously, it has to be a good choice. And that's what I'm saying with the Seven of Cups, is that a person may be so starved for love that they go crazy at somebody else's attention, but they're not really tuning into whether this would ever work. What is coming in is the Ace of Cups. This is another card that validates the idea of new love coming into your life in one way, shape, or form. Maybe you're starting a new creative project, or offering your healing services to others. And that could be very good for you. Neptune is in your 11th house, and that can mean that something connected to the internet that has to do with spirituality and healing. So that might be an internet-based business Maybe you're doing distance Reiki, I don't know. And the outcome is a Justice card. And this is for people that are dealing with legal matters, including marriage issues. There could be a decision or the initiation of some kind of legal matter. If it's a resolution, it's in the upright position, so you can see justice being served, you coming out on top. This can be balance in your life where you have been experiencing, maybe with the Seven of Cups, a lot of cloudiness, indecision. This can be more of a settling down, something finalizing, or maybe a resolution of a legal matter. And this card is associated with Libra, so that can also be a person who you're dealing with. Okay, that's what I have for you, Taurus. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.